Hey, what's going on, guys? So I'm back with my 95 GMC Suburban. One of the things that this truck is facing is the dreaded sagging door. So basically the bushings that go into the door pins are worn out, and that causes the door to sag, and then when it hits the striker there, it kind of like lifts it back up. Here you can see basically the hinge pin on the top there. And I'm not sure if you're gonna be able to make it out, but the bottom, you can kind of see the bushing where it's kind of coming loose. And also if you look down in there from the top, you can get a sense for just how worn out that bushing is there. And the bottom doesn't seem to be so bad, but when you have the door off of the hinges, you got to replace them both, just so you don't ever have to do it again. First things first is to take care of that spring right there. What I have for that is this spring removal tool. Slide it up into the first two openings on the edges that you can see. Kind of maneuver it in there. Okay, so you can see I have the spring removal tool and installation tool right there on the spring, and basically you just got to tighten down that nut right there, which is a 1/2 inch nut. Okay, so there you can see the spring is removed. I tightened down this tool quite a bit until it was very loose. Then you basically just kind of wiggle it out of there. Now you got to keep in mind that this spring is under a lot of tension and there's a lot of force in there. So if you're going to keep it in this tool and you put it off the side, you want to put it somewhere where no one is going to accidentally get near it or could be hurt by it. Just make sure you put it out of the way. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and put it up here on my moving blankets. Now, one thing you want to keep in mind is that this door, once you take the pins out, is basically going to fall. I mean, the pins are what's holding the door up. So what I have going on here is I have my jack with a piece of wood in it, and it's just enough pressure to touch the door and hold it up. Make sure you have a friend or someone to hold this door, because if you're doing it by yourself, you're gonna drop it. Okay, so the next thing on the list is going to be to remove this little kind of like lock washer thing here. You basically could just have to figure out how to get that sucker off there, because that's kind of holding this pin in place. You're gonna need to get something to slide underneath that and then pry it off. I used this small hammer in the back of my little screwdriver here and just kind of tapped it a few times until that little washer kind of spun around and there was a spot where I could actually get this screwdriver underneath it. I might get a stronger screwdriver, and basically you just kind of peel it up and eventually it'll move out of the way. Got the little lock washer off there. I had to beat it up a little bit with my screwdrivers and a pair of dikes, and then eventually this pair of needle nose, I was able to get it off of there. Don't forget, you got to remove the same washer there at the bottom of the bottom pin. That one's moving. You can see they're not in there super tight. Okay, so you can see the pin is very much out. All I really had to do was use this big screwdriver here, flathead, and just kind of grab the butt of it and just kind of used this here to pry down on it, and it just fell out. You're going to want to make sure you remember which washer or which bushings go where, because there's two different size bushings you get in the kit, and I believe the bigger bushing in this case is going to go on the bottom there, and it's on the body side, the car side, not the door side, and they go up and then the smaller bushing is going to go down. It's the opposite on this one. The bigger bushing is going to go on the top, smaller bushing is going to go on the bottom, and in this case on this side, or on the bottom one, they're on the door side. So just make sure you keep track of which way the bushings all go. There's that one. You can see this one went from the bottom up, and you can see, hopefully you can see, the bottom here is a little bit fatter than the top, which is what I was talking about with the bushings. The bigger bushing is going to be on the bottom, and the thinner one's going to be on the top to accommodate the different sizes that are on this pin. Here's the hinge pin kit that you get. Comes with a hinge pin, 2 bushings, and a little locking ring, if you can see it in there. I will put a link to this down in the description below of this video, so make sure you check out that link. That's where I got this on Amazon. So this model number is 38416. I believe that's going to be the same for any CK truck like this. Okay, messing around with it a little bit, I'm able to get the bottom pin loose. And really all I'm doing is just using this hammer to kind of drive it home. And then once I got that, I'm putting this screwdriver here just down there and just giving it a couple good whacks, and it'll go. It's not hard. It's just a little time consuming, and definitely trying to not ruin the paint of the vehicle. At this point, I got the bottom of the hinge out, and you can see the bushing there. And the top is just there to keep the door on. Again, I have the door actually supported by this jack here, the weight of it. And I'm about to go get my wife to help me. She's just gonna balance the door while I switch out these bushings. Okay guys, I have my lovely wife out here. And our baby, you could probably hear in the background, but you can see I have the door completely apart, right? I took the last bushing out, or the last pin out. Now I just got to pop these bushings out, and you can see the 2 there. There's 1 and 2, and then 1 and 2. And the top ones are really the culprits. You can really see how worn out and just trashed they are. So that's probably what all this black dust is too. It's probably a combination of metal shavings and, I don't know, some sort of WD-40 or grease or something. Okay, babe, the door's apart from the car.
Jim.
The only thing that's holding it right now is you.
Jim.
Can you handle it?
The last time I helped you with your car, I got electrocuted, remember?
Yes, I do remember that, and that's your fault. There goes that one. And let's knock this top one out. You got the door, babe?
I think.
Okay, just keep a hold of it. Because the moment you let that go, it's gonna fall. I want to show you how bad this bushing is. You can see there's a hole worn right through the back of it, and it's just toast. That is what causes your door to sag and ultimately not strike the striker in the correct position. As I'm getting the bottom bushings out, and you can see the top one is just about there, and I want to show you how I'm doing it. Putting the bottom just on the ridge of the bushing there, and I'm just taking a hammer and driving it from the bottom, just a nice clean hit.
Is this a 2-person job for sure?
Oh yeah.
Whoa.
There it goes. Okay, you can see, as I was saying, on the bottom of the door, the bushings go on the door side. And on the top of the door, the bushings go on the truck side. I'm gonna put a little bit of grease and try to install these new bushings in here without breaking them, and you gotta remember to do it very easy because they're brass and they're brittle. Okay, so I wanted to show you these bushings. So you get 2 of them in the kit. One of them's bigger than the other, and the reason why is because this pin has 2 different sizes. This side's fatter than this side. So this is the smaller bushing. You can see it doesn't let the top go in, so this goes on the bottom. This is the bigger one, the bigger bushing here, and it goes all the way around until it hits the teeth, and that's where you drive it down and drive it home. So this is going to be for the top of the pin, and this smaller one's going to be for the bottom. So as you can see, the bushings are installed. I got on the body side the smaller bushing on the top, the bigger one on the bottom, because the pin goes in from the bottom up. And on the door side, I have the bigger on the top and the smaller on the bottom, and the pin goes in from the top down. So we're going to push the door back together and just pound the pins in and hope everything works out. Okay, so at this point we have the pins started, the door lined up. And like I said, it's not that hard, but you definitely need 2 people just to be able to maneuver the door into place. And you can see the top pin there. Basically just have to drive them home.
Is that tapping to Shane?
The only thing left to do is to pound the ends of the pins in. You can see there's a little bit of a gap there, and that's kind of like a press fit, so you just really have to take your time and just pound those in as good as you can. This one is a lot better than the bottom one, but I'm gonna go ahead and try to pound those in the rest of the way. This one has been pounded home and the little lock washer has been installed. This one, you can see, has been pounded home. That one, the bottom one, I don't know why, took so much effort to get that one in. Pretty crazy. And the lock washer's on there as well. I just used my 2 6-inch extensions and just pounded the heck out of it, which actually rendered the extension that I was hammering useless, because now it doesn't fit on the 3/8 ratchet, which is fine. But, you know, they're in, and the door shuts perfectly well. The only thing left here is to install the spring, reinstall the spring, so let me do that. Okay guys, so what I had to do just now was completely loosen this spring tensioner tool and re-grab the spring at farther out locations and then re-tighten it down. For some reason, maybe I was able to just wiggle it out of there the first time when I got it out, but it wasn't compressed enough even when I tightened this all the way down in order to get the spring back in. But this is, so it's gonna take a few seconds here, but should work. There you go. All right, you can see the spring is in place, and let's check the fitment of the door. Look at that. Perfect. Okay guys, so that does it. That's how to install door pins, hinge pins, whatever you want to call it, in your CK, you know, GM vehicle, whether it be a Suburban, Yukon, Tahoe, Sierra, Silverado. I believe from like 91 on through 99, something like that, but don't quote me on that. But they should all be very similar, and it was a very simple and straightforward process. It was just hard to get to the pins to knock them out and knock them back in. So make sure you have extensions. I would say at least 12 inches worth of extensions, and if you can, 1/4 inch ratchet extensions would probably be better, because you'd have a little more leeway as far as getting a better angle on hitting the pins into place. So that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please hit the thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more videos like this.